Everyone, welcome back to my channel to a new video. So today we are here to start off with a new topic from our treasure trove books, which is Daffodils. So it's a poem written by William Wordsworth, and today I have chosen a new background to teach you all this poem or explain this poem to you all. It's nature. So Daffodils, this poem is also very much related or completely contradictory to the nature. So basically it is written by William Wordsworth. The poet is William Wordsworth, and as I always tell, let us read the box first. So what does the box say? William Wordsworth. No study of English literature is complete without a reading of William Wordsworth. So English literature, you cannot say that you are a master in English literature until and unless you have read a poem of William Wordsworth, who is perhaps the greatest of the romantic poets. So in English literature we have many poets and many poetesses. So among them, in romantic theme, William Shakespeare is the king. So he is a romantic poet who writes about romantic stories and also about nature. He is very much into the nature and writes about the nature too. It was he who railed for the use of everyday language, common people and things in poetry. So before, what should it be? The poetries should be written in Old English, like Shakespearean English. The poetries should be written like that, but William Shakespeare was the one to change it, and he started the everyday language and the common people and things in poetry. So it was William Shakespeare who started all these things. Wordsworth was a great lover of nature. As I already told you that he was a great lover of nature. He was very fond of nature, and most of his poetries are contradictory to the nature. He writes about nature, he writes about romance, and means he was a very natural type of poet or a writer. Okay. Wordsworth was a great lover of nature, and his poem was inspired by a real life experience. So this poem, Daffodils, is inspired by a real life incident. In whose life? William Wordsworth's life. Once when a walk with his sister, he came upon a sight of a belt of daffodils beside a lake with the wind blowing over the flowers. So once while he was walking with his sister, he came and saw a belt of daffodils, huge scale of daffodils. It was beside the lake with the wind blowing over the flowers. So the wind was blowing over the flowers and the flowers seemed to be dancing. Later in the poem we will also read this, when we are seeing that the flowers are basically dancing. The poet compares the flowers to be dancing. Okay. The sight of this vast expanse of the yellow flowers. So daffodils are golden in color or yellow in color. So yellow flowers inspired Wordsworth to write his remarkable poem. So this daffodils, the sight of daffodils, it inspired Wordsworth to write a poem on it. Okay. He goes on to tell the reader that long after he had this experience, the mere memory on the sight would lift his spirits when he felt dejected or depressed. So he wants to tell the readers that this daffodils, it again revived its spirits, his spirit, while he was down, depressed or sad or felt dejected. So nature has that much power. It can lift you up when you feel dejected. This well-known poem is eulogy to the restorative power of nature. So the theme of the poem, if you are asked in the exam that what is the theme of the poem Daffodils, you have to write it is the restorative power of nature. Okay. So let us start with the poem without any more delay. So the poem is chapter number 6, page number 26 of your treasure trove books. So Daffodils, written by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud. So the poet is saying, I wandered lonely as a cloud, means a cloud in the sky wanders lonely. It has nobody with it. Okay. And it goes wherever it wants to. It has no place to go. So wherever it feels like, it goes there. So even the poet is comparing himself to a cloud. So I wander lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er hills, vales and hills. So that floats o'er high vales and hills. What are vales? Vales are valleys and hills. Okay, so the poet is wandering lonely as a cloud that floats on high. So hills are of course high and valleys are also high. So that floats on high vales and hills, valleys and hills. When all at when when all at once I saw a crowd. So when all at once he saw a crowd of what? A host of golden daffodils. So he saw a crowd of daffodils, a host of golden daffodils. I told you all daffodils is colored yellow and golden. Beside the lake, beneath the trees. So the daffodils were beside the lake and beneath the trees. Okay, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So the daffodils were fluttering and dancing. They were moving. Even in the box we read that the daffodils were dancing. So even here we are reading that fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as stars that shine. So the daffodils were dancing continuous as stars that shine. The stars in the sky, high up the sky. So the daffodils were dancing as the skies, as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. So he is comparing the daffodils to the stars that shines and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never ending line. So the daffodils stretched in a never ending line, means the poet could not see an end to the daffodil, means it was full, there was no end. Along the margin of the bay. Bay means as there was a lake and the side land of the lake will be obviously called a bay. So he could, all along the bay he could see only daffodils, daffodils and daffodils. 10,000 saw I at a glance. So the poet is saying that I saw 10,000 daffodils at a glance. So this is a figure of speech which is hyperbole. So hyperbole is mainly used to show you, means how can you count that you saw 10,000 daffodils at a glance? No. So even this is same example of a hyperbole. So if you are asked in your exams that what figure of speech is used in this 10,000 saw I at a glance, you will write hyperbole. Tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So they were dancing and tossing their heads in a sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced. The waves beside them also danced. The waves beside them were also dancing, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. But the daffodils seemed to be dancing more better than the waves. In glee means in happiness. So the daffodils were happy, means they seemed to be happy. The poet thinks that they're happy, and the daffodils were dancing sprightly, and they seemed to dance better than the waves. A poet could not but be gay. A poet could not but be gay, meaning that a poet could not help himself to be happy, because poets, poets like this nature, and where there are flowers, where they have something to learn, poet loves those places. So same thing he tells in this poem, a poet could not but be gay. A poet has, if any poet is there, if any writer is there in that moment, that place, he is obviously to be gay. Gay means happy. In such a jocund company. So the daffodil is giving him a jocund company. Jocund means merry company, happy company. So he's finding daffodils very much good. Means he seems to be in a very happy company with all the daffodils surrounding him. I gazed and gazed, but little thought. So the poet is telling, I gazed and gazed. I just gazed, but I did not think one thing. What wealth the show to me had brought. So wealth, what wealth to me the show had brought. That what had I gained from this, watching these daffodils? What had I gained? For oft when on my couch I lie. So when I lie on my couch, I am in my home, some maybe depressed. I lie on my couch in vacant or in pensive mood. So in vacant or in pensive mood means in a sad mood. When I lie on my couch, they flash upon the inward eye. So the daffodils flash upon the inward eye of the poet. Okay, which is a bliss of solitude. So which is a bliss of solitude means it is a bliss of loneliness. So when the daffodils comes in my head when I'm in a pensive mood, that gives me happiness, and the jocund company of the daffodils, that gives me the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and then again my heart is filled with pleasure and dances with the daffodils. So then my heart is no more pensive and it starts dancing with the daffodils. So this was the poem. I'll read it again. I have explained it to you. Hope you understood it. Please let me know in the comment section, have you understood it or not. So let me read it again, just going to read it once. Daffodils, William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er hills, vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, on vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. So this is a very short poem and took very short period, also very short time to explain. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. For today, this much. Thank you.